PBs. I am obsessed with PBs. I PB'd my half marathon last Saturday, 1 hour 29 minutes, and I'm still hitting PBs in the gym, which is surprising. And the weight's coming down, the body weight. I'm 9-ish, depending on the minute, 9-ish kilos down this year, which is very, very good for running and very bad for my mental well-being. But I wanted to talk about the so-called interference effect of pursuing multiple physical qualities at once, and how, generally speaking, most people are so underdeveloped in all of those physical qualities that they generally can push more than just one at any point in time. Like, I've been lifting for 13 years, running for a long time, not really properly until, I would say, the last 18 months. And what I mean by properly is more than once every 2 weeks or more than once a week. The last year-ish, probably running about at least twice a week. Some weeks just one, some weeks none. But I've started pushing the running and hit a lot of PBs whilst also PBing in the gym throughout that period of time. And I'm pretty, you could say I've been doing it a long time, pretty advanced, whatnot, even though I'd argue I'm not. And I'm still making progress in both. I think generally you just have way less room for bullshit. There's way less room for wasted energy in the gym or running. You have to be more dialed across the board, which is why I've just reduced my volume massively. Literally almost also reduced my warm-ups, and things have come out of the program that are just not necessary. It's just the absolute bare bones. For example, you'll see my entire quads and glute day right now. I say entire, there is another program, David Gray Hip's program that I'm following at the moment that I do after. I didn't film that. But this is effectively all the heavy stuff anyways. That stuff's not really strength training to this level per se. It's more just movement exploration and exploring through relative motion and trying to improve movement options rather than actually really adapting any tissues. Although you do adapt tissues because of the weird positions you get in. But Jacob, focus. We're talking about trying to get stronger and run faster. So yeah, it's been going pretty well actually, to be honest. Less sets and even less reps per week means that when I go in and do a set, I can give my all. And psychologically that is a lot easier than, say, doing 3 sets of 8 on front squats, just coming in weekly and doing 1 rep to maintain the strength, and then when I'm feeling good, just popping on a bit more weight and pushing it. That's awesome. I also have to have the caveat, it's hard to PB leg gains when you're running so much. My leg volume in the gym has reduced massively. Like before, I'd probably, ideally you'd hit every tissue in the body 2 to 3 times a week. I'm not doing that just because of the running volume. That's taking a priority. So it's much more gaining my hypertrophy tissue. Like, it's theorized that you can maintain strength gains on 1 good quality set a week, but to build, no, sorry, that's actually, I think that's build. I think you can build, increase strength gains on 1 set a week, but to increase muscle mass, it's hypothesized you need 4 sets a week. I'm not a scientist, and I don't measure my gains that well with regards to getting a DEXA scan or even just measuring thigh length, limb length, or anything like that. By length, I mean circumference of limbs, to try and get an estimate of cross-sectional area of tissues. I don't try and do that. I just let the quantifiable numbers, the weights I lift, the reps I get, tell me how my progress is going. And I track that over time and try it and make all my sets hard so I can add weight or a rep the following week, which has been going well. I also do have to add, like, it's a new gym and new machines, so hitting PBs on new machines is a little bit different because you get better at the skill. So I've had a lot of that the last 4 months of just improving my ability to kind of do well at a machine. Yeah, so that's also another reason why I PB'd a lot. But honestly, like, from the eyeball test, the physique looks good, the running's going well, and I just want to kind of critique the thought that you can't push 2 physical qualities at once. You just have to understand what exactly drives those physical qualities, and then remove everything that doesn't. So for example, generally in the gym, I see a lot of people take sets not close enough to failure. Generally those sets, unless you're warming up, are a waste of time. They're hard enough to give you fatigue, but not hard enough to give you any kind of real stimulus, and therefore a waste of time. And then with running, I think generally you get a mixed bag, and running is something that I need to learn a lot more about. That's definitely nowhere. Oh, you can see this guy counting behind his back. Love to see that as a PT. That's a good PT, in my opinion. As I was doing my pistol squat, sorry, I got distracted. By the way, this is a great setup if you want to smoke your quads in your ass. It is phenomenal. Yes, so running, I honestly think just like when you're starting running, which I'm assuming, like, I'm not talking to pro runners here. I'm talking to people, just general people who maybe lift and run a bit, or have run a fair bit and lift a lot. Generally, if you just do a bit more of what you have been doing, you will get better at running. It's that simple. You're running 5k a week and you start running 5k twice a week, you're going to make significant gains. It's just dedicating the time in order to do that. The other big caveat is the factors outside of the gym and the running need to be dialed if you're pushing more than one physical quality at once. Like, I'm in bed 9-10 hours a night, and the foods I put in my belly are generally very nutritious, high protein. I crush creatine for breakfast, 10 G's a day, to drive all my intensity. So yeah, driving physical qualities at the same time, I do think it's possible. You just have to be smart about it, and to increase the likelihood of success, you have to understand the real mechanisms in terms of what to do in each session physically to drive those physical qualities. Yep, little rant. I hope you enjoyed the video. Driving to multiple physical qualities at once, is it possible? In my opinion, yes. Just depends how good you are, how good your lifestyle factors are, and how close to your, like, ceiling you are. I'm so far off my ceiling for strength and for running, I can drive both. It is a good question, but I probably wouldn't limit yourself to saying that you can't drive multiple physical qualities at once. There's caveats here. If you've got questions, dive them in the comments and we can discuss. Hope you have a good day.